Good afternoon. Good afternoon. This is a very exciting day for us in Syracuse in Onondaga County. And before we get started, I would just like to acknowledge some of the dignitaries that we have with us today. Senator Dave Valesky is here, Assemblyman Bill Magnarelli, Assemblywoman Pam Hunter, City of Syracuse Council President Van Robinson. We have Sandy Alderson, the New York Mets General Manager, the Assistant General Manager of the Mets, John Ricco, New York Mets pitcher, Matt Harvey, Syracuse Chiefs General Manager, Jason Smorrell, and Community Baseball Club of Central New York Chairman of the Board, Bob Julian. Welcome to all of you. As I said, this is a really exciting day for us, and it's a long time in coming because there have been opportunities in the past where we thought that we would be able to come together with the Mets, and there really is the Mets organization and one other person that is responsible for this happening for us today, and it is Governor Cuomo. He really stuck with Syracuse. This, as you all know, NBT Bank Stadium is a county facility, and it's one of the jewels in our county parks system, and we are really excited for the opportunity that we now have. The executive board has voted, and it goes to the shareholders, and we expect that very soon we will have new ownership here. And the reason it's important to me as county executive, we've made a commitment to baseball, and the best option we have for long-term security to have this level of baseball in Syracuse is with the Mets. And we know that, and we're excited to have the Chief Operating Officer here to tell you himself. I'd like to welcome Jeff Wilpon.
Thank you. This has been a long time coming, a lot of work. I thank the governor for pushing us to be here and explaining, along with the county executive, Joni Mahoney, of how well Syracuse is doing and how the refurbishment of the town and the county is going. We're very excited to be here. Bob Julian and all of his hard work to get us to this point, to have a vote that's in favor of us purchasing the club. The affiliation agreement is still with the Nationals, so that affiliation ends in 2018 at the end of the season, and then at that point we're open to follow the rules of baseball and bring the Mets franchise here. One thing we dug up from the archives is the 62 National League Baseball Club official program and guide, and then the Jay Horowitz media presentation. And in here, this is something, Governor, that the 62 Mets were affiliated with Syracuse as their AAA franchise back in '62. So this is somewhat of a homecoming again for the Mets. So really cool stuff. Again, I just can't thank the governor, Joni Mahoney, and Senator Schumer for pushing us to come back to New York State, and we're just very excited to be here. So, Governor.
Thank you. What a day. First to Jeff Wilpon. Let's give him a big round of applause and a big Central New York welcome. To your county executive, not just the county executive, she's also the landlady now. But she's done an extraordinary job working with the Mets organization. Let's give her a round of applause. And to Sandy Alderson and John Ricco and to Matt Harvey, who, by the way, was teaching me how to throw a curveball in the clubhouse, so the legislature better watch out this year. Let's give them a round of applause. This is an exciting day. It's an exciting day for all of upstate New York. It's an exciting day for me personally. I am a Queens boy. For those of you who are not familiar, Queens is one of those downstate counties in New York City, boroughs. And Queens was called an outer borough. Brooklyn was an outer borough. Bronx is an outer borough. There is no inner borough, but there are just outer boroughs. But you grow up in an outer borough, you sort of know where the inner borough is. The inner borough was Manhattan, and if you weren't in Manhattan, then you were in the outer borough. So I was a Queens outer borough boy. But the one thing we had in Queens was we had the Mets. That was our identity. And as a kid, I could ride my bicycle to Shea Stadium, which is where they played at that time. It's before Citi Field. And they were really a point of pride, a point of identity. It was something that gave Queens substance and meaning. And those memories have been with me always. My father was a baseball player, so whenever we got a chance, what he loved to do was to go watch a game, and that's where my father and I would go, so there are a lot of memories there. The Wilpon family is a great New York family. Fred Wilpon, Jeff's father, was very good friends with my father. I'm very good friends with Jeff. The Wilpon family, whenever New York needs anything, the Wilpon family is there. In terms of philanthropic efforts, charitable efforts, they are always there. If we're trying to raise money for breast cancer, they're there. We just went through donations for Puerto Rico, where the Mets used Citi Field Stadium as a collection point. And it's amazing how many goods were donated. And let's give them a round of applause and thank them for that. The Mets have announced the agreement with the board of the Community Baseball Club of Central New York, which has kept baseball here in Syracuse since 1961. So let's thank them very much for what they've done. It has to be approved by the shareholders in Major League Baseball, but I'm confident of that. And then in 2019, the Mets would take over the franchise. So now look at what you have. You have the Mets that have the AAA team in Syracuse, AA team in Binghamton with the Rumble Ponies, Single A in Brooklyn, Cyclones. They would be an all New York State team. That's what the Mets are all about. I think you're going to see a draw from all across upstate. I think you're going to see from Buffalo to Albany coming into this stadium. I think this is really exciting. And I think it's in keeping with everything that's happening in Central New York. I was talking to Jeff in the clubhouse, and he said, you know, there's a lot of activity in Central New York. A lot of things are going on. And energy begets energy. One of the problems in Central New York, for too long we were stagnant. And now things are happening. Onondaga Lake is now a beautiful asset once again. New York State Fairgrounds broke a record again for attendance. Over 1 million people coming to the fairgrounds, and we're still improving the fairgrounds. New airport is going to be built at Syracuse Hancock. So when you start to redevelop and you start to build, it develops a synergy in and of itself, and good things happen. And I think today is one of those good things that has a synergistic effect with everything else that's been going on. So Central New York is the place to be. The Mets are the team to see. Congratulations. It is an exciting day for New York. It's an exciting day for the Mets organizations. So we should all celebrate, and the best is yet to be. Thank you.
Before we go, I just want to add that our gratitude to the board. I know that there has been a lot of time and effort, Bob Julian and the entire board, and we want to thank you for partnering with all of us in an effort to keep baseball in Central New York. And we really could not have done it without you. And when we traveled down to Citi Field to talk to the Wilpons about coming here, we realized that we probably have a little bit of work to do, but we've talked with the Wilpons, and we're hoping that this is a long-term agreement and people will be able to see the players here that they can also watch on television. And this is going to be really exciting for us in Central New York. Thank you so much to Governor Cuomo. Without your efforts with the Wilpon family directly, I know we had a lot of competition, and the Mets are coming to Syracuse because of your work. Thank you so much. Thank you all for coming.